Hey everyone, welcome back to Andy Talks Too Much. And for this video, it's going to be a little bit more personal. I'm actually going to be talking a little bit about my experiences with gender dysphoria. And before I go on, I just want to say that not everyone experiences gender dysphoria the same way, and not everyone experiences gender dysphoria. Okay, so here's the story. Now, earlier this year, I was actually considering suicide. I was depressed and I didn't see a way out. So, after some large amount of effort, I actually did go to see a therapist at my school. And after talking to them, I started looking back at my life a little bit to find out where my generalized anxiety, where my depression probably originated. And it all tied back to my parents and the way my life was kind of unstable. So, when I was younger, I didn't really see myself as what everybody told me I was. And it didn't matter because nobody really thought anything of it at the time. They just thought it was a phase. I used to wear my mom's jewelry and her shoes and emulate her more than I ever did my dad. It's not even that my dad was not present in my life. I saw him every morning, every evening, so it's not like he didn't pay attention to us at all, really. But anyway, so around the time I was about 6 years old, I asked my mom, when was I going to be a big girl like her? And she just said, oh, you're not going to be a girl, you're going to grow up to be a handsome young man. And that really hurt, to know that I was not going to be what I saw myself as. And I remember praying to God to turn me into a girl. I remember wishing on every shooting star and on every first star in the sky. I remember during this time I used to cross-dress. I mean, it's not really technically cross-dressing. It's not really cross-dressing when you think about it, but for the sake of context, we'll just call it cross-dressing. Anyway, I used to wear my sister's clothes because we were only 2 years apart and we were about the same height and weight and everything, so a lot of her clothes fit me. I remember wearing her dresses and stuff and just feeling right about that. And I remember my dad catching me and getting mad, blaming my mom for me being this way. And I remember feeling very scared about that, and them telling me that the Bible says that I'm not supposed to be that way and that I'll go to hell for being that way. And that scared me for years to come. I remember still, even though despite the fear of hell, I remember still cross-dressing in private and then praying for forgiveness afterward. And I got caught again. And my dad asked me, why do you keep doing this? And I said, I wanted to say because I want to be a girl. But because of what he told me last time, I just said, I just want to be pretty. And he told me that I never would be. And I would never be a girl. It was around this time I started experiencing a lot of depression and anxiety. And it just kept building and building. I remember during around this time before I hit puberty and sometimes during it, some people would actually call me a girl. I mean, not as an insult. Some people legitimately thought I was a girl, which is something that always made me feel happy for some reason. I didn't completely understand why. I didn't know about what being transgender was, but when I was in my teens and I found out about it, I was like, oh, that can't be me. I mean, maybe I want to be seen as a girl, but that doesn't mean I want to be a girl. I mean, that type of thing is sinful. That's the way I saw it. I had internalized my parents' transphobia. And this built up over years and years. And I got angrier, I got sadder as time went on. And it all culminated in me deciding to take my life. And eventually, like I said, I went to speak to my therapist. And I started saying after like a lot of thinking, I went back to our next session and I said, I think I might be transgender. I mean, I spent my life wanting to be a girl, I spent my life wanting to be seen as a girl, and I want to transition. And I started socially transitioning. I started wearing more feminine clothing because by this time I was identifying as gender fluid rather than transgender. But eventually, I started moving toward that. I started moving toward wearing more feminine clothing. I wore dresses. I wore blouses and stuff. I started wearing more makeup, even though I suck at it. Started trying to do my hair different, and even though I suck at it, I'm still working on my voice. It still sounds too deep to me and doesn't sound very feminine. But during this time, somehow I get stirred a lot less. But my point is that after I started socially transitioning, I started feeling better. My depression subsided, my anxiety subsided. It's still there. It's not as bad anymore. I can wake up in the morning and be genuinely happy that it's a new day instead of just dreading it. I can stand up and get myself in the mirror, even though I still kind of look the same. And I smile a whole lot more. Like, genuinely, not fake smiling anymore. I actually smile and talk. I actually smile at people to now. And I made the decision 6 months ago to start medically transitioning. I started taking hormones. I'm now, like I said, I'm now 6 months in. And I'm actually at the happiest point in my life. And that is what gender dysphoria was like for me. I mean, a lot of my dysphoria ended up beginning like only because my parents didn't want me to be transgender. And that was the issue. That's where it all began for me. And it often makes me sad to hear people tell me it often makes me sad to hear people saying that you shouldn't allow your kids to socially transition, or you shouldn't allow your kids to transition because they think that they're giving them hormones or giving them surgery, which is not something that they do. And the fact that the amount of damage it did to me for 20 years, that you'd rather your kids live in absolute hell for the rest of their life than see them happy. All I can say is believe when kids say that they are trans, because my parents never did. I had to take matters into my own hands eventually to get better, because they wouldn't help. So that's my story. I'm sorry if it came off like a bit of a downer, but at least it had something of a happy ending. I mean, I did manage to sort of get into a sort of relationship finally, or at least a seemingly more permanent one. I mean, I still experience gender dysphoria sometimes, like in regards to my voice. Sometimes I won't talk to people because that frightens me. Sometimes when I'm out in public, that generally does make me feel somewhat uneasy because I have a deep-seated fear of getting misgendered. And yeah, it still comes up, and it's not completely gone. It's still there, but it's a lot less prominent. It's like I can handle it, and at least now I can a little bit better than before, where I was just lashing out and just being depressed and angry all the time. So yeah, that's my life up until this point. So with that, like I said, this is entirely my experience. some people don't exactly experience it. Some people don't experience this. Won't have the same experience as me. But honestly, people really should listen to their kids when they say that they are trans. If my parents had listened, I could have spent a large section of my life happier and more well adjusted. I missed out on so much because of them not listening, because they let their prejudices make their decisions for them. Okay, so with that, I'm ending this video here, so be sure to check out my other videos, those Pricebox Questions videos, our channels Pricebox Gaming and Pricebox Reacts. And remember to check out my main channel, True Andy M. Thanks for watching, and stay jamming, everyone.